friends, it's Tracey from Tea Time with Tracey and Friends. Boris is right down there. Right there. There he is. Anyways, I was watching YouTube last night and I seen Ollie from CriminOllys do the Beefcake challenge. And then I seen Stormy from Stormy Reads do it. I'm late to the party for this, you guys. It's reading big books in the year of 2025. And I like big books, and I cannot lie, and I know a lot of people do. And I just picked out some. I have other big books in my 2025 bookcase I have downstairs that I could include in here, but I wanted to not take any that are in my 25 and 2025, so I picked different ones from a couple of my shelves upstairs. Like, I have bookcase all over the house. However, I'm going to show you the books that I picked out. I know a little bit about some, I know nothing about others. So, oh, and Ollie said, oh, just a second. All right, Ollie said the creator of this reading challenge. Get going, Mish. I'll put all the information down below because he kept calling him Big Al or something like that. I'm not sure who it is, but I'll put CriminOllys channel down below. If you probably know who he is, he's a really cool guy. And I'll put Stormy's channel below. She's the one that's doing that retro readathon that I'm doing this month. Anyways, on the back of each of these, I made a sticky for how many pages are in it. This is probably my shortest book in this stack. I've got one here, too. Anyways, this one's Clive Barker. I've read a couple of books of his, but I've never read this one. I don't really know what it's about. The Scarlet Gospels. I don't know. My experience with any Clive Barker books, which there's another one on this list. They're whackers, crackers on a mushroom trip or acid trip or something like that. They're so out of this world, and there's things in it that you would never expect to be in his books. That's the best I can do, honestly. So I don't know what this one's about. I'm going to read it. There's 466 pages in it, and it was first published in 2015. The next one, this is on my February TBR. I just filmed that video, February TBR. It's Anne Rice, The Witching Hour. This is 1,038 pages. This was first published in 1990. I'm starting it. I'm starting it now. I just have these in to mark off, like part 1, part 2, part 3. I originally read this book up until the page of 420, I think it was, back in 1990, and I never finished the book, and I forget what it's all about. I know it's like a family saga, and I have almost all of the Vampires Chronicles over there, and I have all of this series, but I've never read it. So I want to read the first one. It's a chunker, but it's I'm really looking forward to it because I've carried this series with me for years from house to house, and I still haven't read it. So that one. This one is They Thirst by Robert McCammon. This was first published in 1981. There's 565 pages in this. This takes place in Los Angeles. I've read some books of his, like A Boy's Life, and does he do Swan Song? I think so. I read that. Anyways, giant books. Anyways, this one, An Ancient Evils Unleashed in Los Angeles. That's all I know about it. I think creatures are unleashed on the city, and they are swarming the people and killing people, and I'm assuming it's vampires or something. I don't know. They Thirst. Yeah, 565 pages. This is book 2. This would be the book that goes after The Witching Hour by Anne Rice. This is book 2. I want to try to finish that series this year. I have all the books, and all the books are huge. Like, they're all big books. This one isn't as big as the first one. This one is 628 pages. Lasher. I know, I believe Lasher is like the demon or ghost or something that's haunting the Mayfair witches, something like that. But I want to put this one on. I think there's 5 or 6 books in the series. I have them all, and I didn't want to just put a whole series on this list, so I could switch it up and stuff. But this is book 2. This is book 2, The Valley of the Horses by Jean M. All. I have Clan of the Cave Bear on my 25 and 2025. That's book 1, which is a big book. I think it's bigger than this book. This is book 2. This is 544 pages. It was first put out in 1982. And, what's this? The Earth's Children is the Earth's Children series. This is book 2, so I haven't even read book 1. I know it takes place back, like when there's mammoths and stuff. Not dinosaurs, but mammoths back in the Stone Ages or whatever that time period's called. And it follows this woman. I think in the first book she's a child and you see her grow up. I think there's 4 or 5 books in this series, and I have the whole series, and they're all mammoth books. But after I read the first one, I'd like to go into the second one. Hopefully. We'll see. Toady by Mark Morris. This is his debut book. I have another copy over there. It's called Horror Story or Horror Store. Just a minute. Oh. These are both the same story. They're both the same. This one, I started to read this book the beginning of summer in 2024, thinking it was a summer book. I got about 100 pages in and realized it takes place in January in winter over in the UK. And it's colder than a witch's titty in this book. But it follows, I think, 4 boys, young teenagers, and Ouija board haunting stuff. I only read a little bit into it, and there's 702 pages. This was first debuted in 1989. But I love it, and I'm going to pick away at it. I meant to start it. Oh, Boris. That was him. I meant to start it again in the beginning of January. Forgot all about it. And that. Just a minute. Okay, the next one is The Last Days by Adam Neville. I read No One Gets Out Alive by Adam Neville a couple of years ago, and I really liked it. And I think this is the only other paperback book of his that I have. And I believe this is about a cult. This has 530 pages, debuted in, or first published in 2012. I believe it's about a cult that has some sort of massacre, and then years later, hard on their luck, filmmaker gets commissioned to go and make a documentary about this place in the Arizona desert. Yeah, the Temple of the Last Days is what the cult was called. Anyways, he's going there to make a documentary about this cult, and I'm sure it goes whackers crackers. All right, this one, I have this whole series, the Off Balance series, I think, by Lucia Franco. This is a taboo romance. I have them all. They're big. This one has 588 pages. This first book in the series was put out in 2016. This is a gymnastics coach and gymnast taboo relationship. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but some people that I watch and enjoy the books that they read love this series. And oh, there's another one. Just a minute. Anyways, I have all of the books on my 2025 bookshelf downstairs. I would like to read this whole series this year. Here's the first in that series. So, yeah. Colebrook by Tim Levin. I read another book by him a couple years ago, Berserker, and I really liked it. This one is about I don't know if it's a government facility. It's a secret laboratory in the Appalachian Mountains called Colebrook. The scientists have achieved the impossible, a gateway to a new world, but they unleash something. a disease. So a whole bunch of people die in the world, only they're not dead, so they must be like zombies or something. And the only way to save the world is to get a cure. I don't know if these people actually eat other people. I don't know, but I enjoyed Tim Levin before. I like end of the world things. I don't know if this is a happy ending or not, but 509 pages was first put out in 2014. So that one. This one is book 2 in a series. I think you can read them individually. The Unlawful Men series, book 2, The Enigma. The first book I read a couple of years ago again. It's called The Brit. I do have an old video on that, but this is book 2. It's mafia romance. That's all I know about it. Just mafia romance is all I can say. Oh, there's another one. Well, she might be making banana bread. I don't know. I got a house full of people. Children. Lovely lovelies. Anyways, the next one is The Outsider by Stephen King. Never read the book. This is 560 pages. I thrifted this book out west when I was out there last year, I think. It's a beautiful floppy copy, and I love it. I think this was first put out in 2018. It's, my understanding, it's involving a murder of a young boy, and the teacher or somebody's being blamed, but then there's supernatural elements and things. I'm not sure, really. Anyways, it's a beautiful copy. It's a chunker, and I would enjoy reading this physically because, you know, it's lovely. Okay, these two go together. I have the first book of this series on my 25 and 25, so I didn't put that in this. The first book is called The Passage. I forget which one goes next. This is the second book. Here comes... Are you coming up? No. The second book, these are thrifted, old library books, so there's The Sheen. The Passage, then The 12, then The City of Mirrors. I don't really know what this is about. I believe it's a vampire series, but not your typical vampires. And this spans throughout generations of families, I think. That's all I know about it. So The Passage is a big book too. So this one is 564 pages and was put out in 2012. This one is 598 pages and this was put out in 2016. So The Passage must have been put out in before 2012, and it's as big, if not bigger, than these. But I'm going to be reading that. I'm going to be reading The Passage before I read these. If I fancy on reading The Passage before I pick it out of my jar or whatever, I will just replace this as one of my 25 and 25 jar, whatever. And last but not least is Everville. I read The Great and Secret Show by Clive Barker 2 or 3 years ago. I did do a video on it, and I think I'm going to read that again before I read this one. This is supposed to be a trilogy. The trilogy has never been finished, so why am I putting myself through this? But the first book, I remember thoroughly enjoying it, but again, it's one of those trips that you go on. Like, there's some old celebrities in it and TV characters in it and different dimensions in it, and I can't even put his books into words. I really can't. I will put my old video of The Great and Secret Show below, but this is book 2 in it, Everville. Book 3 has not come out, and the second book was put out in 1994. Book 3 has never come out. So, yeah. But I have the book. The Great and Secret Show is over on that shelf there, and it's a big book like this. But I think when I read The Great and Secret Show again, I'm going to do the Audible version. Just because these are a bit daunting sometimes because they're not light reading. But they're so good. They're so good. The characters, the scenarios. I'm not giving a very good explanation of what this book is, but I want to read it. Yeah, 697 pages. So, I know Ollie said one of the, I forget what the questions were in the challenge. One of them were, can you lift up your pile? Physically lift up your pile. And I'm sure I can. I'm going to have to back up, though. see here. Oh. Oh my gosh. Oh, I should have them all facing out though. Bear with me. Boris is looking at me. I gotta back up so you can see me. I don't want to fall down the stairs. Ta-da! I can do it, Boris. Ta-da! What do you think, Boris? Am I doing a good job? There. So, another thing was, gosh. So I have a couple of romance, quite a few horror. I don't know what the Valley of the Horses would be classified as. Fiction? I don't know. But to see how tall it was. So, I have a meter stick here. Well, 18 inches. Does it have centimeters on here? It does. About 44 centimeters. 44 no, wait a minute. 46 centimeters. 46 centimeters and 18 inches. So, that, and then, oh, I figured out how many pages it was. Just a minute. It's on my phone. Okay, so if my calculations are right, that's 8,497 pages in those. I think I counted them all. So that's not bad. I think I can do that. If I just do one book a month, it's February now, just the beginning of February. So there's 12 months in a year. If I read one of those a month, I think I can do it. I think. I'd like to at least get, say, 7 or 8 done for sure. Like 100% for sure. But yeah, I just seen that, like Beefcake. Boris's name is Boris the Bear Beefcake. I got to do this challenge. And I just thought, I got some big books that I don't have on my shelf downstairs. Well, I had did I have any of those? No, I didn't have any of those downstairs. I had The Witching Hour. The Witching Hour was on the shelf downstairs because I pulled that out of my TBR jar. He's waiting for another one to come out of that door. Yeah, so that was fun. I look forward to doing it. This is the year of readathons and challenges. Like, I've never done any of that stuff before, but I don't know, I'm just getting the gumption up to do that. And I'm really having a good time, or at least being excited about it. It's yet to be seen if I actually accomplish anything, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try. So anybody going to have a nice slice of beefcake and do this challenge with us? I know I'm a little late to the party, but I'm doing it, and these are my books that I'm going to do. So anyways, I'm going to say peace, love, and happiness today and every single day. Please like, share, and subscribe if you so choose, but if not, that's okay too. I still love ya. I still want all the happiness in the world for each and every one of you out there. I certainly do. I really, really honest and truly do. Yes, I do. So, okay, guys, with that, I'm going to say have a good night or have a good morning, and I will see you next time.